Happy holidays, everybody. Sam Love of the Calumet Wilderness. Ooh, I love when the road just opens up ahead of me. Check this out. So what I want to do is walk west to Georgia Street, and then go south about half a mile through the Georgia Heights neighborhood in Merrillville, which is the neighborhood I grew up next to. And this is the southern edge of old Hobart Island. It's very distinct here, as you'll see. A fair amount of the land is actually open, or preserved, protected, accessible. You know, you've got this Oak Savannah Trail that I'm using today. Bur Oak Woods, where we visited in the last video. No doubt you can hear the interstate now. I'm getting closer to it. I used to play in these woods as a kid. Never thought to go beyond the woods, though. I vaguely remember there being a railroad track here when I was a kid. And the trail opened when I was a young adult, so like 20 years ago or so, I think. Well, welcome to my old stomping grounds, everybody. You know, I do these shows, I'm really trying to focus on the ecology of the Calumet region, but, you know, inevitably it gets autobiographical. And for me, this is where it began. It almost smells the same as when I was a kid. So for me, you know, my first encounter with nature wasn't parks, it wasn't preserves, it wasn't even the beach or the dunes. It was these empty lots. So region. On the fringe of this modern industrial powerhouse city, steel town, you know, these little lots that never got developed. I may get a little nostalgic in this episode, I don't know. Although, I mean, I've walked through this trail many times. It's one of my favorite trails in the region, and it's also one of the most popular trails. A lot of people I know love this trail. These apartments have always fascinated me. In fact, for me, as a kid, right here was the entry into the city proper, right? This was the boundary area. Even though we did have apartment complexes in my side of the border just a block that way, but you had like city buses and sidewalks, and like this was the real deal, you know? All right, into the suburbs. You all thought I was joking about the lack of sidewalks. We used to fly down this slope on our bicycles. Oncoming traffic be damned. This behind me was all open when I was a kid. I used to ride the school bus looking out the window, wishing I could run out into that rather than be stuck in a building all day. Yeah, a great place to grow up, you know. I had a happy childhood, and just, you know, all these woods to explore and fields to run through and all kinds of silly shit. So let me give you a quick look around. I'm gonna stop here in this graveyard. Good place to get the ancient lay of the land. Just get a great sense of this old island here. This is the old Salvatorian Fathers Hall, and the rumor in the neighborhood was that if we trespassed back there, the monks would jump in VW bugs and chase kids out, shooting at them with machine guns mounted from those bugs. I kid you not, we believed this. And there was this wetland just beyond the church property there, or the monastery property, that was very appealing to us as kids, so we took many a risk. And of course, you probably, wherever you're at, know the story of the person who visits a spooky graveyard late at night and tries to get up and leave and then can't because they're stuck and they end up dying of fright. They think a corpse is coming up and pinning them down, when in reality, sometimes the story is told that it's a sword of a soldier, knitting needles, pins, whatever. Well, we also had a rumor that happened at this graveyard here. This Jehovah's Witness facility was quite controversial when it opened in the late 80s. Not because they're Jehovah's Witnesses, but because it was one less empty lot for us kids to play in. They knocked on our door once. I opened it in my underwear. They never came back. Yeah, 3 sides we had empty lots, which were my nature preserves. To the south was a wooded lot that the adjacent neighbor called his Brown County, and we'd do a burn there every year. I'd find all the baseballs that I'd lost over the summer. Across the street was a mowed field, and then it got a bit woody and there was a small wetland. I found crawdads in there. And then to the north of us was there's also a field. It was more rocky, it wasn't mowed, and it also had a wetland in it, so we had tons of fun playing outside here. So there it is, just to the right of that stop sign. Here's the woods I had mentioned, Little Brown County. And there's been subsequent development in our empty lots, unfortunately. Or fortunately for the people who live there. Depending on if we were coming or going, this hill was either our friend or our enemy. I mean, going down you get so much speed, but going up after a long day of playing, even the road just comes to an end. Love it. Real good sense of the elevation here. I don't ever remember taking this alley as a kid, so let's see where it goes. Yeah, here's what passes for a sidewalk. All right, back on the trail. Well, once again, happy holidays, everybody. It's so great to have you along in these adventures, particularly this one today. Got me in the spirit a bit. You can probably see why I am the way I am now, from where I come from. Great mix of a cool city and some beautiful nature. Add that together, throw in a bit of a bad attitude, and you get me. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. Yeah, I imagine this area here just south of Robinson Lake is going to look quite different in the next few years, thanks to these ambitious restoration projects going on. So you can see how it all changes over time by following the Calumet Wilderness. Hit that subscribe button, all right? This is a long-term plan here. So you all take care. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you.